This second hour.
Hello, Mr. Mario.
How are you?
Baruch Hashem. So, did you get a lot of over Shabbos? You get a lot of work. Get a lot of daf done.
Well, we are in 59b.
Yeah.
We probably do 59b and 60.
60. Okay.
60.
What are you up to now?
Huh?
Where are you up to now?
59b.
That's what I thought. So you didn't make much headway, huh? Okay. I'm pretty far behind now, about 4 blocks behind. Up to 63 today. 63 today.
Hola,
Hello.
¿cómo estás?
Okay.
Caliente hoy.
A little bit. It was a bit warm during the march, but it was okay.
It was a good march, but I wish they had some speakers at the end.
I left
It ended without a climax.
there was no, I think they might have had speakers inside. People went in.
True. I don't know. Maybe they had to clear the road. I don't know. Walter.
Yes, sir.
Ask you a question. I know it's public forum here. I was just speaking with David in Israel. He's 50-50 whether he's coming back before this Shabbos or next Shabbos. But he's going to speak. I wanted him to speak by us at Shalosh Shudas for Nachal Haredi. He's been at all the bases. Like, I think you were with him. Maybe we should combine together. Do you think Yavne would like to join up with us? And
yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay, so he doesn't know yet whether he's back this Shabbos, but I'll.
No, I spoke to him a few times today. I know. I spoke to him.
Okay, good. So we'll get it together, whether it's this Shabbos or next Shabbos.
Is your son there still?
What?
Your son is in Israel?
You know what? He came back before Sukkot. I've never brought him back in 4 years. And I just missed him so much. I told him, come home. So he came home the day after Yom Kippur. So he's been home. Now he's so mad at us. I mean, not mad, but he's trying to get back. His flight's been canceled. And his Rosh Hashiva called, come back. And so David said...
There's Elal is flying to Israel.
I know, but David said, wait 1 week. So I told him
you have to wait 1 week because basically I think something's going to happen this week, Wednesday, Thursday. So
that's what it seems. So I told him he cannot go back Thursday. I said Sunday, Monday next week. I'll book you a ticket. You can fly that day.
Okay, please God, you'll be okay.
Mirz Hashem. Mirz Hashem. But I see he really is feeling.
Well, you feel cut off, you know.
Yeah.
He feels cut off from his friends.
The yeshiva's, granted, the yeshiva is a Haredi yeshiva. It's not boys in the army, but they're learning like it's the army. I'm not saying it's the same, but it's a very intense time. They canceled vacation. They called everybody back to learning.
I know all about it, but the Torah says, that at the age of 20, everybody has to go to the army. It doesn't give a dispensation for this. Rosh Hashiva is like that. It's fine. But, I have a lot of friends that are Haredim. All I can tell you is they've been going, giving food, giving money, taking care of people. That's what they've been doing.
You know what's so interesting? I was in yeshiva in 87 through 90. So the boys that were my age that stayed in Israel now all have kids. Like we have a list of kids to daven. There's 15, 20 kids,
Listen, I can only
that are
tell
in
you.
the army, that are in the idea because they stayed in Israel and Kachaya?
Listen, I can just tell you the war is terrible, but I was there during the Yom Kippur War. I
Yeah.
never talked about it for 48 years. I just didn't talk about it because I lost so many of my friends. But the truth of the matter is, once you've been in a war, you're a different person for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, there is war. There is war. Unfortunately, thank God in America, kids don't know about it, but it just makes you, God forbid something should happen. Of course, we don't want that to happen, but just makes you feel you become a different person. You grow up pretty fast.
Now I feel bad that I had him come home for Sukkot.
You don't have to feel bad.
If I had just let it be,
everything
he'll
min
be there, and
hashamayim.
that would be that,
Kenny, everything's min hashamayim. Don't feel bad. Come on. Somebody asked me, how many times were you in a bomb shelter in the last 4 days? I was on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was in a bomb shelter 20 times. I worked it out.
And they're he's in Beitar.
But there's why. Listen, I came into Shalim. I came to my apartment. The sirens go off. Okay, I heard the Iron Dome. I mean everything. Then about 15, 20 minutes later, again. The difference between Yerushalayim and where I was in the Hilton, and then at my brother, everybody was saying to Tehillim in the bomb shelter, in Yerushalayim in the hotel. Where I was in the Hilton, everybody was on their phone trying to see what's happening. So, there's just a different perspective of life. But, my poor grandchildren, they were in the bomb shelter there at least 6 or 7 times, from here. And then they left. So for them, it's traumatic. It was traumatic. For the children, it's traumatic.
How's Esty doing?
Well, Esty's fine. I mean, we would have stayed. Just I didn't want to get stuck. That's all. We would have stayed. You can't be afraid of these things. We're one nation, and you have to.
Not just that. It's if it's your time, it's your time, and if it's not, it's not. It doesn't matter.
Well, you don't have to put your,
doesn't matter whether you're in Marina Del Rey.
No, but you know the story about the helicopter coming. Kodesh Baruch Hu sends a helicopter, and you don't take it, and then he says, "Well, where you say he died, but why?"
Speaking of helicopters, I was at the rally this morning, and I'm telling you, the LAPD did a flyover, and I think people thought, they're protecting. They just did it to show support. They circled around a couple of times, and then zoomed away.
Listen, it's okay. Listen, you should have a Yeshua. The problem is, I feel less safe here than in Israel because these people are nuts. These Arabim have taken over the world, unfortunately, and they don't care.
All right, so we'll get together for Shalosh Shidduchos, whether I'm away this week. I have to go to New York, but if David's in town, I'll be in touch and we'll organize it.
Be a pleasure.
Or next Shabbos. It's either this or next. It seems.
No, I don't think he's coming back so quick. He's doing a lot of work.
He said it was 50-50. He wasn't sure yet.
No, that means he's not coming back. He's not going to leave. He's not going to leave Nachal Haredi. He's not going to leave. They need him over there. Listen, they're doing so many things, that it's amazing. I'm just telling you, so you just see how everybody's come through together. The problem is that you have all these organizations chasing you for money. You don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth. And you don't know where the money's going. You have to be very careful.
My company gave $1 million to Magen David Avdon? I was shocked.
Okay.
You got to donate to the ones that you're familiar with, not just to anybody else.
It's not only familiar with it. It depends what organizations. There's a lot of people that are doing real chesed straight through. A lot of the organizations, there's a lot of fluff that goes along before they get to the right place. So you just have to be very careful. There's a lot of fluff involved.
No, I agree with you.
And there's a lot of things which are going straight, like the FIDF says you don't need this and you don't need that, but that's not true because I hear from people who are on the bases they don't have ceramic vests, they don't have helmets. Some of them they don't have certain things, especially the reserve forces. They don't have that.
So I saw a
Yeah.
video. I saw a video of soldiers saying, "We have plenty of snacks, with plenty of food, but we need more basic." They want like black tape, black double-sided tape. They want even like a magic marker type of, simple
David
things.
Hager said, "Don't send food." They have so much food, he said.
Yeah, they have so much
Baruch
food.
Hashem,
They
we're
need more
against comic
essentials.
people, you know that.
They like this, these portable, what they call them? They're like clippers, and it's got a few tools inside. It comes in a little pouch. Things like that. It was a very
No, but
interesting video.
they need stuff for they need certain things. So all I can tell you is the difference between the vast difference between this and the Yom Kippur War is that in those days the people in Israel never had a lot of money to fund this kind of stuff, and today they do, and the people in Chutz La'aretz weren't as substantial as they are today. So the amount of help and jets and private jets and everybody flying into Israel with certain things. If some of these private jets have got guys who are they're taking back guys who are volunteering, who were in the army, who want to go back and help. So we need everything.
Did you read the story about the guy who was in the shelter in one of the kibbutzim, was telling his children, don't worry, Sabba's coming. He called his father in Tel Aviv. His father was a retired army dude, 60 plus years old, gets in his car, comes down to the kibbutz, joins up with whatever Israeli forces are there, kills blah, 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 knock on their door. And the children survived this whole trauma quietly because of this vision that their grandfather was coming to rescue them. Kachaya, he did.
Yeah, I read that story. It was him and a friend of his. They were both over 66.
It was on 60 Minutes tonight. I just saw it. It was on 60 Minutes tonight.
And how was that?
The whole story about this guy. He came on the way down. He rescued a couple people. He even rescued a couple that was at the music festival. They got in his car. He rescued them, and they rescued two nurses that were injured. Before he went to his son, he took them back, drove them back, turned around, and took them to the hospital there. Otherwise, they would have died. And then he finally came 8 hours later, and he shot on the way down. He shot one terrorist. He killed one terrorist. He thought he maybe got more. He got involved with some other. He joined up with some other, Israeli forces, because he was a big guy, a big shot in the. I think it was in the 73 war. He was a big shot there. He was up on the front by the Golan, and he was, a retired lieutenant colonel, like you said. But it was a very good interview with him plus his children that were saved. It looks like she's an American. She married. I don't know if they were Dati, but it doesn't make a difference. But that's what it was. It showed the kibbutz how it was blowing up. It was like so. So a guy called me Friday. He's got there's a company in New York, but has return. He's giving me 1,000.
60 Minutes.
It was on 60 Minutes tonight. Yeah, that thing. Look, you can go. You can see it. The guy's giving me 1,000 children's jackets, winter jackets. I figured it'd be perfect for some of the kibbutz that have nothing. They're all those survivors have nothing left. It was all blown up and burnt. They have nothing, and it's a family. So I'm trying to find someone who would take it. If you know anybody that could take 1,000 children, beautiful jackets, winter jackets. If you know anybody that could use them, I'm going to probably pick up either tomorrow or Tuesday. And then he also has another guy's given me sheets and blankets from donating a lot of that stuff. So if you know people that take stuff like that, the problem I guess that is just room on the plane. But if you know anybody, let me know. So all right, all right.
All right.
What happened to our fearless leader?
He's right there.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there.
Before we start, can I suggest maybe, if everybody agrees, to maybe now the mincha is early, can we start at 7:30 normally, and then except when you have the tzur here?
That's fine with me.
What does everybody think?
No problem.
No problem with me.
Because Mincha, you're back from shul already at 6:30, 6:35. So there's 1 hour to
7:30?
eat, and then so
7:30.
7:30. Huh?
7:30 is fine. Just let the people know.
Okay, fine. So Mario will put it up, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you, guys.
Nun Tes Samad Aleph near the bottom. Esvei. We're dealing with this issue of Dibur is Mavatal Dibur, but Dibur is not Mavatal Maisa. So we ask a kasha, Shalech get liishto. Person sends a get via shaliach to his wife. V'higia b'shaliach. He caught up with the shaliach before the shaliach gave the get. Oh, shesholach achrav shaliach. Or he sent the second shaliach after the first shaliach. V'amar lo, get shenatati l'chabatil. Either he told the original shliach that the get I gave you is batil, or he told the shaliach that he sent after the first shaliach that the get is batil. Hare ze batil. So if he reached the shaliach before the get was given, the get is batil. Now, we said before that giving the money to the woman as part of the Kiddushin was a Maisa. So and we said the second Dibur of the guy going back on the Kiddushin cannot uproot the Maisa. But here, V'anasinas get liat shaliach t'chinasinas mat l'rishatami. Handing the get to the shaliach is like giving money to the woman. Yet uketoni areza bottle. Yet here in this case, it seems that the second dibur comes to be mavatal the ma'isa. So the Gemara says, no, it's different. Hasam nami kol kamadeloi mata gita liyada dibur v'dibur. He just told the shaliach to give the get to his wife. It was just dibur. There's no ma'isa. The ma'isa that would be relevant by a get is the actual giving of the get to the woman. Up until then, it's dibur v'dibur. And asi dibur u'mevatel dibur. So there, the second dibur can be mevatel the first dibur. So far, Rav Yochanan seems to be of the upper hand on Rish Lakish. Because Rav Yochanan said, if in a case of a Tanai Kiddushin of 30 days, and the guy in 15 days decides to back off on the Kiddushin, we say Choseres, that Asi Dubim Vatal Dibur. Rish Lakish said, Eino Choseres, because Lo Asi Dubim Vatal Dibur. So far, the proofs that the Gemara has brought seems to support Rabbi Yochanan. Now, Esvei Rish Lakish Rabbi Yochanan. Kol hakelim yordin lidei tumasan b'machshav. So we know that a kli is makabel tumah. If you break the kli, it's not makabel tumah anymore. Now, you're fashioning the kli, and in your mind, your machshava decides, it's a finished kli. It's not makabel tumah. So machshava can already make the kli a makabel tumah, even though you really haven't finished the kli. But once it's a kli and it's makabel tumah, ein oilin midei tumasan ebashinu maisa. Now I can't b'machshava say, oh, it's not a kli anymore. I have to break the kli. If I don't do a maisa of shvira, the kli remains to be makabel tumah. Maisa moitzi miyad maisa umiyad machshav. The maisa of breaking it or even making the kli takes it out of maisa and out of machshava. For example, I have a machshava not to fix it anymore. So maisa will work to be moitzi miyad everything. But machshava ain't moitzi aloy miyad ma'isa v'lo machshava. But once a kli is a kli, and it's tomei, the machshava alone cannot be moitzi, not what I did with a ma'isa to be misaki in the kli, and not miyad machshava that I did to say, oh, the kli is a finished kli. So I understand bishma miyad ma'isa l'mafka to lo'asi dibur vatal ma'isa. A dibur cannot be vatal ma'isa. Elam miyad machshava miyam topic. But Rabbi Yochanan, who says dibur can go against dibur, how come here machshava doesn't work against machshava? So shani machshava de tuma, the chimaisa dami. When you're building a kli, and you decide at some point that the kli is finished with machshava, and now it's makabel tuma, that's like a maisa. Rav Papa, Rav. Ksiv ki tein mayim al zer. It's written, but v'karinan ki yutan. Ha-ketzad. Ki yutan dumich d'chiyit mayitain d'nichalei. For some people, makabel tuma, a food item has to be wet. But not only has to be wet, you have to be happy with it being wet. Afutan is d'nichalei. Even when water falls on a dry food to be makabel tuma, he has to be happy with it. So there's no proof from this case against Rav Yochanan, because a machshava by tuma is like a ma'isa. Now, Rav Zvid masilai shmaitza aha. Rav Zvid learned this sugya differently. V'chein hi shenas reslush l'shuch l'katsha. The woman sends a shaliach to accept kiddushin. But halchahi v'kitchesatro, she went herself. Im shalach kadmu, if her shaliach came first, kiddushay kiddushin. V'im shal shlucha kadmu, if the shaliach went first, ein kiddushay kiddushin. Now, loy kitche es atzma. She did not accept kiddushin. V'chazraba, and she changed her mind about the shaliach. Ma'u. Rav Yochanan chozeres. She can change her mind, and there's no kiddushin. Reish Lakish Amar ein chozeres. Rav Yochanan chozeres asi dibur vatal dibur. The original dibur, where she appointed the shaliach to accept kiddushin, she can mevatel that. Reish Lakish Amar ein chozeres lo asi dibur vatal dibur. Eser of Yochanan Reish Lakish. A man sends a shaliach to separate truma, and then betel, and he changes his mind. Im actually torn betel ain't truma. If he changed his mind before the shaliach had gotten a chance to separate the truma is not a truma. So you see, dibur is mavatal dibur. Amaravach ma'skinon kigon shekodem balabais v'tormis kirio. This was the case where the balabais went first. The Avali Maisa, he actually separated truma. It's not just dibur. Now, Eis Reish Lakish Rav Yochanan. Kol hakelim yordim lidei tumasim b'machshav. You can finish a kli with machshav, but ve'ein oilim et tumasim b'shin Maisa. You cannot take a kli out of its state of tuma only by breaking it. Maisa, the breakage, moitzi miyad maisa miyad machshava. Whether you actually finished the kli with maisa or whether you thought about the kli is finished, maisa can break that. But machshava ain't a moitzi loy miyad maisa v'lev machshava. Bishlam miyad maisa l'mafka loy si dibur vatal maisa. I understand why dibur doesn't work to vatal maisa, because dibur doesn't have that koyach. Elam miyad machshava miyad tafik. According to you, it should be mevatalin. Amalei shani machshava de tuma the chimaisa dami. It's considered like a maisa. Rav Papa Rami. Ksiv ki yitain v'karini ki yutan ha-ketzad ki yutan to be the yitain ma'itain the nichalei af yutan nami the nichalei. Now comes the final clap here. Eitzer Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish. Hashalech get li ishto. I command the shaliach, give my wife a get with dibur. Vihigia b'shliach, and he reaches the shaliach and he changes his mind. O shesholach achrav, he sends another shliach after to change his mind. V'omer lo get shnatat l'chabotelu, harei ze botel. So we see beferish. Dibor is mavatel dibor. To Yufta, Reish Lakish. To Yufta, we knock Reish Lakish out of the box. Ve hilchus hakavayis Rav Yochanan. Vafilu bekamaisa. Allah Rav Yochanan. Even in the first case where we said that the woman changed her mind. And even though we have this concept that giving money to a woman is like a maisa. Now, kashi hilchasa hilchasa. Amrit hilchasa krav Yochanan. You told me that Allah kaimelon hilchasa krav Nachman. The boilu maushi yachzer vigarishbo. Can the get that the guy changed his mind on? Can he use that get again? Rav Nachman Amar Choyzer Megarishbo. He can use it. Rav Sheshet Amar Eina Choyzer. Kaimelon hilchasa kavayis Rav Nachman. So it doesn't destroy the get. Nihid the batla mitor shaliach mitor's get lo batla. Doesn't mean that the get itself is not a kasha on Rav Yochanan. Then we said in the Mishnah that if I give a woman money and I say that the Kiddushin should chal after 30 days, and a second party came on day 15 and gave her Kiddushin, Amar Rav Mikudeshas L'Sheni L'Oilam, that becomes his wife. Ushmuel Amar Mikudeshas L'Sheni At Shloshim Yom. The first guy made a Tanai and gave her money and said, I want the Kiddushin to chal with me after 30 days. So Ruvain, Kiddushin is chal after 30 days. Shimon shows up and gives Kiddushin on day 15. According to Shmuel, Shimon is makadesh to her only until day 30. La'achar shloshim yom poki kiddush sheni. That kiddushin goes away, and the gamri kiddush rishon, and Ruvain's kiddushin is chal. We paskin like Rav against Shmuel that when the second guy comes and gives kiddushin, it's his permanent wife. But we're going to analyze the sugi a little bit more. Yosef Rav Chizv Kakashale. Now, I don't understand. When Shmuel said that the second kiddushin goes away, where do we see that kiddushin can go away? You need a get to break kiddushin. Right? Kiddushin shen b'may poki. Where did the kiddushin go? Amalei Rav Yosef, Mar Aresha Mastilo, the Kashale. He's talking about the beginning of the Mishnah. And Rav Yehuda Seifu Mastilo. And Rav Yehuda learns this Machlokes Rav and Shmuel on the Seifa, V'lo Kashale. What's this? In the Seifa it says, Me achshav ula achar shloshim yom. Person gives a woman kiddushin and says it should start now and after 30 days. Omer of mikudeshes. Ve'enu mikudeshes la'olam. Shmuel Omer mikudeshes ve'enu mikudeshes ela at shloshim yom. But la'achar shloshim yom poki kiddush sheni. V'gamri kiddush rishon. The Rav Mesavkele, Rav was in doubt. Itnohavi? Was this a Tanai? That if I don't do something within 30 days, the Kiddushin will be from now? Or was it a Chazara? Or is he going back on it? That when he said Me'ashav, he really means only after 30 days. So it's a suffix. L'shmuel pshita leided t'na'avi, and according to Shmuel, it's a pashut that it's a t'nai. And ubeplukta dani tanoi. It's the same machloikas of the following machloikas tanoi, the Tanya. Person gives a get, and he says, "Ma'ayom la'achar misa." It should start today and after I die. So the din is it's a get, ve'eno get. Divrei Chachamim. He doesn't know whether the Chachamim are in doubt whether if he dies, the get is retroactive from the day he gave it. Or he's trying to go back on it. And it should only have a chalois after I die, and such a get doesn't work. Rabbi Omer kazeh get. It's a get kosher. That after he dies, the chalois should be from when he gave it. Now, name a Rav halacha k'rabbanon, the name of Shmuel halacha k'Rebbe. Where it says no tzricha. The ilu amar Rav halacha k'rabbanon avamina buy a get hasam del rachika kasi. It's coming to distance them. But by Kidushin of halacha del ikruva kasi, maybe he'll agree with Shmuel. The Tanai Avi, that it was done as a conditional state. Maybe there, because he'll agree that there's no get after the dead man can't give a get. Such a concept works. So tzricha, we have to see them stake out their claims at the extremes. Be mekudesh to me now and after 30 days. Uba acher, and a second party comes for Amrla, Harayat mekudesh li me'achshav lachar estrinya. Uva acher v'Amrla Harayat mekudesh li me'achshav lachar asariya. Merishon me'achron tzricha get. From the first and the last guy, she needs a full get. There's no suffix. But me'em tzoyi ain't a tzricha get. From the middle guy, no. Manivshach. I don't understand. Eat no havi. If it was a tonight, the Kama Kiddushin, the Anach Lav Kiddushin, then the second Kiddushins are not. If he's going back on it, the Basra Kiddushin, only the last one is Kiddushin, the Anach Lav Kiddushin. So the Gemara says, that's a Dover Pashut. What's the Chiddush of Abaya? Ma'od Sema, Halish the Mashma Tno Mashma Chazar. Maybe one Lashon is clear as a Tanai, and the other is clear as a Chazara. And maybe Tiboy Gita Mikol Chad V'Chad. Maybe we need to get even for the middle guy. Kamash Malan, that we don't. However, Ula Amar, B'Rav Yochanan Afilu in Kitchen Meya, Toif Sinba. Even if 100 people gave her a get like this, there's a Kiddushin to all of them. You would need a get from everyone. Rav Yochanan Afilu Meya Toif Sinba. Amar Rav Shashi B'Rav Amin Ravasi. Azbra Chatayim Rav Yochanan. Shavu nafshe kishargi delivni. Each one of them made themselves like a brick. The kol chad v'chad, rav chalachad v'shavi. He left, each one left a little bit of time that the other one could have chalois kiddushin in. Mosif Rav Chanina. Person says, hareza gitech me'ayom lachar misa. Get, ve'eno get. Right, we're mesupik. And therefore, the imasive, and he has a brother, no children. We don't allow yibum. It's a suffix. Maybe it's not a good get. So there is yibum. So you need chlitza. Can't do yibum because maybe it was a good get. And they're not married. Bishmal Rav Messiah. Because Rav felt there was a suffix in the language. Lishmuel, that it's just a clear Tanai, and it's not a chazara. Nami, Hamani could have answered Rabbanon, because Rabbanon said it's also get vein or get. But va'anan, but I Shmuel, the Amri Kerebi, and Rav Yochanan, Shama Shira, but Rav Yochanan was the one who said that there's a little space left for each man to have tfisa kiddushin. So kol gita de mishayir b'v'lo klumu. A get doesn't work if you leave any kiddushin remaining. It's got to be a ma'isa krisis gomer. So the get like that should not be a get, and therefore yivum miyabim. It's clearly not a get, and therefore there should be yibum. Omer Rava, get lahoitzi comes to take a wife out of the husband. Umisa also is lahotzi. Ma shashayir get, gamarnu misa. What the get left, the death took care of. Amrle Abaya, midami. We can't say that the misa takes care of what the get left over. Get moitzia not from the rishus of the husband, but also from the rishus yovim. There's no yibum going to be chal if there was no marriage anymore. But misa mekancel rishus yovim. Misa does the opposite. The death of one brother makes the yibum work. The reason why they're worried about the get and we only allow chlitza, not yibum, is gzeira. Ishumayom imati. The person says, "Areze gitech me'ayom imati." Your get should work today if I die. Everyone holds areze get, that it's chal from today, when he dies. And since people are going to be concerned that me'ayom lachar misa is going to be similar, we say you're not allowed to do yubim either. It's a gzeira. I have an igzer me'ayom imati shetichlotz. If he says me'ayom imati, maybe the gzer should be du chlitza, because it's similar to the other get of me'ayom lachar misa. No, because Shrimatoimer Cholet says if you allow chlitza, the yibum will occur. Chanami Matoimer Cholet says shemis yabemes. If you allow chlitza, they're going to also have yibum. Tisyabim v'mikach klum. In that case, what's wrong with the yibum? We treat her as a grusha, and that's only a chashash rabbananu. Mikradin, it's not a get, and it would be mutter to be misyabe. Okay, we're going to stop here.
Shkoyach, Ernie.
Tomorrow 7:30.
7:30 tomorrow. Right. Have a good evening.